He's doing okay, doing much better. It's a hamstring, and decision, for these 2 days is to stay inside, and then we'll see where he's at. When we come back into training on Friday. Yeah.
So have you ruled out Sunday as a possibility?
No, not necessarily. We'll see how he comes along and how he reacts to these next 2 days.
So is it just something that happened in training, or was it something that was kind of building up that you decided to give it a rest?
Don't know exactly because he didn't do that much with us. Because when he came back from the national team, he didn't do that much. But obviously, it's something that either maybe from the wear and tear of the national team, playing those games in rapid succession, maybe coming back and wrong step of training. It's hard to tell.
You had other guys like I think Moffitt and Leo, or maybe might have been inside, and some other guys would like.
Yeah, no, Moffitt. I gave Moffitt an extra day to get his stuff from Houston and so forth. He's coming back with his wife and family, so that's why he was there. And Leo, we kept inside as well today.
How's Moffitt coming along so far? 1 week, so good?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's coming along. I thought when he came in, I thought he did well. For us, I wanted him still to get a feel for the team before we stuck him out there, and but he's coming along fine.
We saw EJ come out of training early.
Yeah, just certain guys. We pulled some other guys earlier. We just pulled him. He's going to get an X-ray on his shoulder just to make sure everything's okay with that. But we just didn't want him in any contact today.
Mauro setting or matching Freddie's assist record. I don't see too many records met throughout the year. What's it kind of mean for Mauro to kind of get that mark in team history?
No, it's great. It's great for Mauro, obviously. He's a guy who hits our corners and our set pieces. He's done a good job with that. And, like I've always said on corners and set pieces, it's all about service. And he's provided good service, and he's picked up assists. So for him to get those assists in basically 2.5 years, is a good run for him.
What kind of weight does that take off the team's shoulders when you can score on set pieces regularly like you've been doing recently?
Well, it definitely helps. In tight games, sometimes a set piece goal makes a difference. A corner kick goal, a free kick goal, and obviously you look at the LA game and both goals came off set pieces. So, one was a corner and then their free kick. So, in tight games, those are the type of goals that sometimes swing it one way or the other.
And does it help, do you think, the mentality of the team knowing that that they can get goals that way, that they don't have to necessarily get them all from the run of play?
Yeah, it helps the team. The belief is strong. You want to get corners, you want to get free kicks because those are opportunities for you to score. And I think when you believe it, when you go at them with confidence, I think it also helps your likelihood of being able to score. In Columbus in 2008, we scored quite a few goals off set pieces, and Chad Marshall was a big target for us, as is Omar a lot of times for the Galaxy. And just knowing you got those people there, and knowing that every time you get that, it's an opportunity for your team, just lifts the whole team.
You said Zakawani probably not ready for long minutes, but what kind of roles do you think he can fill going down the stretch?
We'll see. He did all right today at training. I know he came back on Sunday. He had a hard workout with Dave Tenney. We're trying to keep him in a really good rhythm, trying to get his strength back, so he's ready for more and more minutes. So, his ability right now to come off the bench and contribute, 15, 20 minutes, maybe more so, by the time we get into this weekend, could be very significant for us.
This team you have here, you have some guys like Clinton, Eddie, which are very close, DeAndre and Lamar, which hang out. I think John was just talking about some of his guys. In your past, in some of your successful teams, did you notice those teams that there were some tight bonds, and do teams need to get along to succeed?
Well, there's always tight bonds within a team, and there's certain guys who, hang with other guys a little bit more. I think you don't have to be best friends, in order to succeed as a whole group, but you got to be able to get along, and you got to, have friends. It's great when there's laughter in the locker room is always a good thing, and, you generally hear that in our locker room. That's something that's important. And I think when guys get along and they do some things off the field and they get together, that just helps you on the field as well, because you know the person, his character, and you have faith and confidence in that.
How is Josh Ford coming along?
he's making progress. He's making progress a little bit right now, a little bit better than we had thought. He still has I don't know what it is exactly, a plate in there or something, and that eventually has to be taken out. But we're going to wait till the end of the season to do that.
Hurtado seems to be playing with. He said his confidence is at 2009 levels. Are you seeing that, and what have you thought of his play?
I think his play's been good, since he had that little spell on the bench. Since he's come back from that, I think he's been very, very good. And, I thought he, together with Zach Scott, did a great job on Robbie Keane this weekend. It was a little bit more Hurtado with a couple of the off-the-field little, WWF displays. But it was... it was good. I thought John played well. He was attentive. He was alert. I think with the ball as well. Comparing him to say 2009, I think his defending is at the 2009 level, but I think his play with the ball is better than it was in 2009. So at this stage, I think he's a better player than he was then.
Was Keane flirting with the line of what's acceptable, do you think, on the field with some of those kickouts?
Nah, he's a competitor. He's a competitor. He's going to compete, and he's going to try and find an edge in whatever way he can. So.
Yeah. Won't ask the Sounder your favorite hamburger. That's the question. Yeah.
My favorite hamburger.
Is there a place you like to go?
I don't know if I've gone to a hamburger place around here. I'm trying to think. Went to Hector's in Kirkland. Is that a hamburger spot? I don't know if that's a hamburger spot.
In-N-Out, any of those?
Oh, In-N-Out's a Southern California favorite, but that hasn't made it up here.
Anywhere around.
Yeah, probably In-N-Out. You have to go with In-N-Out.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
It was a big debate earlier.
It was a big debate earlier.
In-N-Out is good. Beats the Jack in the Box with the secret sauce.
Fans always seem to notice kind of how a player reacts when he's being subbed off and when guys are upset or not. How much weight do you kind of put on the reaction of a player being subbed out of the game?
It's an emotional game. I'm emotional. Players are emotional. That's what you expect. Nobody's going to be happy when they come off the field. Oba and myself have talked, about the situation, and he acknowledged the player going in for him, which I think is very, very important. I get really upset if they don't do that. But he acknowledged the player went in for him, and he was frustrated. He was upset at being subbed out. It wasn't where he was trying to show the world that he was upset with the coaches or something. He was just frustrated at coming out of the game because he's a competitor, and that's the way you expect all your players to be. But there's maybe decorum or diplomacy and shaking the hands and all of that stuff. But in the game, for me to turn that into a confrontation, I think is silly and is stupid. And I've coached too long to do that. I understand, and if I feel there's the player has a bad intention or there's something not good there, then we deal with it. But I didn't think that was the case, and we spoke about it today.
And so everything is cleared up in that sense?
Yeah, we're fine.
Rod Ching's set to announce his retirement. Can you just talk about what he's meant to the league, and obviously you've crossed paths with him a few times?
Yeah, Ching's been great. I mean, obviously I drafted him in L.A. I hated to let him go. In fact, he was when he ended up going to San Jose, I knew that my tenure in L.A. would probably be shorter as well, because it wasn't entirely my decision to let him go. But he's done well. He's done well from the standpoint of he worked very hard to put himself back into the league. Some players, come into the league, they have success right away from the beginning. For him, it was difficult, and I don't know if you got time for a long story. I made it more difficult for him because, his rookie year, I started him first game of the year, and the Rose Bowl crowd can be tough, and he didn't have a good game, and they were really hard on him, and it was probably a mistake on my part as a coach. And then he was just coming back. He was doing really well. He had scored a header for us against Chivas down in Mexico to win a game that we played down there, an exhibition game. We won 1-0 off his goal, and then the following week he broke his cheekbone, and then he was out for the rest of the season for us, or else he would have probably climbed himself back into the team that year. So, but then he came here, played for the Sounders, had a great year, really collected his confidence, and played really well. And then when he got to San Jose, you know, and I told Yallop, I said, "You're getting a good player." You know, he did really well for him, and he's just a good, hard-working, dedicated, good kid. You know, who I'm happy that he's gotten the accolades that he's gotten, the chance to play in the World Cup, because he deserves it. He's one of the good guys. He works really hard.
We saw Brad Evans split a couple defenders this last game, and he's had a few moments like that where he's kind of went into his bag of tricks. Is that something that is new to his game and has maybe expanded as part of his confidence has grown?
No, I think he's always had that ability. I mean, you know, he played as an attacking midfielder and a forward in college, you know, so that's something he's always, you know, been able to do. But he's been asked to play different roles in the pros, and, you know, he's the kind of guy who's, you know, Zakawani's a dribbler where, okay, everybody in the stadium knows he's going to dribble. The defender knows he's going to go at him 1v1, and, you know, he still can pull it off. Brad's a dribbler like a lot of other guys. Well, I got a passing option here, so you think I might pass it? No, I won't. You know, and so that makes your dribbling successful. And I think when he scooted through on that little 1-2 through the Galaxy defense, the initial one was set up by maybe I'll play it off. The defender bit on that, and then he skated inside and skated past the next guy. But, you know, he's always had the ability to do that.
Give your full 90 with the Sounders FC mobile app, featuring live audio, matchday blog, and much more to keep you connected. Download your app at soundersfc.com/mobile.